Hey you, are you a gamer just like me? You are? Huh. Do you have good taste in games? You do? Ah, I guess we're nothing alike then because I play Dark Souls. Got him!
外挂 QQ 群。
So the other day, I ran a poll on my Twitter asking you, very valid and loyal member of this community, what do you want to see next from FromSoftware? And as expected, I was deeply disappointed in all your fucking answers. Especially those people who voted for Dark Souls 4. Who the fuck wants a fourth Dark Souls game, honestly? How dare you have an opinion different to mine? So I decided to make a video on these poll results because, you know, my channel, I've been very inactive on the channel for a while and, you know, daddy needs a PS5 and I cannot monetize my videos unless I get more view time. So, you know, I scratch your back and you scratch mine. Also, some of the more, you know, bigger production value videos I make take a long time to put together and I figured this would be a nice way to kind of break up the you know, the quiet time in between those kind of bigger videos. And if you follow me on Twitter, you'd know that I've been working on a video now for quite some time and, you know, I still don't know when it's going to be done, but you know, here's a little taste actually, just a small little tiny taste, okay? Sony Vegas crashed 5 times while trying to render out that small teaser, so I'm really not looking forward to rendering out this entire project whenever it's ready. So yeah, that's the video and I genuinely have no idea when it's going to be out. It's a really ambitious project. It's the most ambitious video I've ever worked on and there's a lot of planning and moving parts in it to make it what it is. So, you know, I've no idea when it's coming, but until then, we're gonna just keep making content similar to this just to keep the channel active and, you know, to keep everybody happy. So without further ado, let's get to this feckin' poll. So the poll question itself was very straightforward. What do you want the most from FromSoftware? The 4 options were Dark Souls 4, Bloodborne 2, Sekiro 2, or a new Elden Ring trailer. I left Demon's Souls Remake out of the poll because, you know, we already know it's coming, so what's the point? Whereas these other things, we don't know if these will ever happen. Even Elden Ring, that doesn't look like it's ever gonna happen. 210 people took part in this poll, and I'm gonna start at the lowest result first and work our way up to the number 1 spot. So first up with a whopping 6.7%, Sekiro 2. Poor old Sekiro, you know, it's a great game. I think it might actually be my favourite FromSoftware game, but it seems to kind of get swept under the rug a bit by the community. It's not as loved as the other games were. Like, even a sizable portion of the Souls community don't even consider Sekiro to be a Souls game. And I know lots of people who refuse to even touch the game because it has 0 character customization. And I know for a lot of people that play Souls games, it's very important for them to be able to make their own characters and their own builds and to even play multiplayer. This is all absent in Sekiro, so I can understand their gripes. But I will tell you that the combat system and the entire campaign in Sekiro is amazing. As far as first time playthroughs of a Souls game, Sekiro is by far my favourite. I still have a lot of fondness for my first ever playthrough of Dark Souls 1, but it just doesn't hold up the same way Sekiro did. I just had an absolute blast playing that for the first time. As far as sequel potential goes, I think compared to Dark Souls and Bloodborne, I think Sekiro has the most potential for a sequel. It's hard to explain why without getting into too much spoiler territory because some of you still might not have played the game, But I think Dark Souls is just, overdone at this point, and I think Bloodborne is just perfect as it is and it does not need to be touched. Oh lordy, if only Naughty Dog knew that not everything needs a sequel, then we would not have The Last of Us 2, which is a steaming pile of fucking shite! So if you're one of the 6.7% who voted for Sekiro 2, you have my respect. The rest of you are fucking scum. So coming in next at 20% is Dark Souls 4. Like, who the fuck really wants a Dark Souls 4? I just find it so ironic that, the message the whole game is trying to tell you, especially Dark Souls 3, is that to just know when to end things, when to just
Get rid of the old and bring in the new. That's the whole metaphor of these fucking games. And people are still like, no, give me another Dark Souls game. The quality has been declining since Dark Souls 1. In terms of gameplay and story, it's declined. And I just don't want to speak about it anymore. Fuck Dark Souls 4 and fuck your opinion.
910字秒外挂 QQ 群
Realistically though, I just don't see where the Dark Souls series could go next. I mean, a fourth game could always happen. I'm sure they could always come up with something. But to me, I think it's better off just left alone. I think Dark Souls 1 really captured lightning in a bottle, and it's something that Dark Souls 2 and 3 just haven't been able to do since. Now, 2 and 3 are good games, they're great games, and they have a lot of quality of life changes that improved over the first game's formula, but there's just something about the first game's tone and its setting and its world and its level design that the other games just haven't been able to recreate since. Personally speaking, Dark Souls 4 is my least favourite option on this list, and I do understand why people would want a Dark Souls 4, but I think the series has done enough. It's done enough for FromSoftware, it's done enough for gaming, and it should just rest now and move on to new and fresher IP ideas. Speaking of new and fresh IP ideas, have you guys heard of Raid Shadow Legends? Yeah, well, me neither. Next in with 30.5%, Bloodborne 2. What can I say other than Bloodborne is just an absolutely adored game. It has a very loyal following and a very active community even to this day. I swear every other week out of that community they've found something new about the game that nobody has known before, or even recently a scrapped boss has been modded back into the game. Bloodborne fans really will not put that game down, and that's a good thing. It keeps the community active and it keeps the online active and it just keeps the game alive. As far as a Bloodborne 2 goes, I'm kind of 50-50. Like, it would be cool to have another one and revisit that aesthetic, but at the same time I think the first one just wrapped everything up perfectly with a nice bow on top, and making a sequel could ruin that. Just look at Dark Souls 1's story. It went in a clear direction. Not everything is answered and some things are left to your imagination, but that's not always a bad thing. And then we got Dark Souls 2 and 3, and now it just put a lot more question marks around things, and it just made a lot of things even more confusing. Like, what the fuck even is Ornstein anymore? So my biggest concern with a Bloodborne 2 is that we might have a situation where its new story and direction might just make a lot of things in the first game really confusing and muddy and just not make sense anymore. Best case scenario, a PS5 upgrade for Bloodborne just to get it running at 1080p 60 frames per second would be perfect. That's all I'd want. They don't even have to bring it up to 4K, just give me that 1080 60 FPS. Because part of the problem why I don't like going back to playing Bloodborne is just it has technical issues. It's not a very well optimized game for the PS4. And then when you want to co-op with friends, these technical issues show up even more, like the frame rate just tanks in a lot of areas. Like, I'm so used to PC gaming now on a 144Hz monitor that even going down to 60 frames per second doesn't really feel particularly smooth anymore. So going back to a game like Bloodborne where the frame rate can't even hold a consistent 30 FPS, it's nauseating to play. So that's not even a PC elitist problem, because the new generation of consoles are boasting 120 FPS performance. So if you're gaming on your PS5 and you want to go back and play some Bloodborne, you're going to really feel the difference between 120 and 30 FPS. So I think it's really in the best interest of, FromSoftware or Sony or whoever is in charge of that stuff to get Bloodborne patched to at least 60 FPS for the next consoles. The online netcode is also very dodgy at times, especially in PvP. It's very laggy, and a lot of times the hit detection is just way off. I've played a lot of PvP across all the Souls games, and you will come across jank every now and then. You'll get lag stabbed, or some dude will be just floating around, or your hits won't even be detected. But Bloodborne is by far the worst experience for that. Its netcode is just a steaming pile of shite. And you know, maybe it's not the netcode, maybe it's just the fact that it's on console and everybody's playing over Wi-Fi and are just laggy as fuck. But it's just, the PvP for Bloodborne is mostly, in my experience, a terrible experience. I would say that flawed masterpiece is the best way to describe Bloodborne, you know. It has all the pieces to the puzzle, but they don't always just fit in smoothly together. And now, the winner of the poll with 42.9% is a new Elden Ring trailer. Honestly, I don't even know what to say about this part. We know absolutely nothing about Elden Ring. George R.R. Martin is working on it, so it'll probably be another 10 years before we see it. And there's just not much to say, really. As far as I'm concerned, Elden Ring is just an industry myth that was created to get you to tune into all these gaming live streams in the hopes that you'll get a glimpse of information. I swear there's a leak every other week about Elden Ring saying, hey, Elden Ring is going to be shown at this live stream, tune in. And I guarantee you it's just insiders themselves making up these fake leaks to get more people watching. It doesn't matter which gaming stream it is even, the chat is just full of Elden Ring spam. Microsoft could be showing off Halo Infinite and the chat is just Elden Ring, Elden Ring, Elden Ring, Elden Ring. For all we know, it's Jeff Keighley just logging into 4chan and posting these fake leaks just to generate hype and get more ratings and viewers for the next upcoming gaming stream. And whoever stream it is, may it be Ubisoft or PlayStation or Xbox, they're handing Jeff a little brown envelope under the table full of cash and saying, thank you Jeff, I love you.
Jeff Keighley.
雪花飘飘，
QQ 群
北风萧萧，苍茫。